Hey guys, it's Becky with Design Bundles, and I'm excited today to show you my favorite way of painting a buffalo plaid background. Okay, now we're using one of our favorites. It's one of the big wood rounds, right? We did one of those for you a little while back, so make sure you check that one out too. But they're just really fun and easy. They make great seasonal decor. And once you get the hang of painting that buffalo plaid background, you can use it on pretty much anything. So we are doing this for Christmas, and we have an awesome Christmas design to put on there for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are with the wood rounds, and of course this came in a plastic cover. I went ahead and took that off, and I want to line up as straight as I can. I want to line up the direction that my, what am I trying to say? That my grain is, my wood grain, okay? So I have just regular foam brushes. These are cheapies. I like them because I can toss them when I'm done. I have some water, an empty cup, and a stir stick. And then I have white paint and brown paint. Then, of course, the star of the show is I have some painter's tape. Now, I see a lot of people were having good success. I usually use the regular blue painter's tape, but everybody seemed to be really liking this one, so we're gonna give it a try today. Now, this is 1.88 inches, all right? So for this size of a wood blank, it is going to be a good size. If you like a really small grid buffalo plaid, then you're gonna wanna get more like a 1-inch tape, but I like the larger grid for this large of a surface. So I'm going to start with my paint. Now this is going to be a faux stain. We've done one of these before in case you caught that video. If you didn't, what I'm going to do is mix paint and water. Now you want to stick to about a 50-50 ratio or less, okay? You don't want to have over 50% water, but it really doesn't take a whole lot of water to get this watered down. All right, now this is nutmeg brown, so it has a little bit of an orangish tint. If that bothers you, then you will want to get a different color brown, or you can add in a little bit of black. Very watery consistency. While I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and explain why I use this instead of actual stain, and that's because I'm going to be applying vinyl to this when we're done. Okay, so this is going to be, think of this like a base layer so that I have some nice contrast to my white buffalo plaid. So when I have used stain in the past, it has caused my vinyl not to adhere very well to the wood. If you've applied vinyl to wood before, you will know that it already doesn't really like to adhere to the surface unless you're using a really hard wood. And typically most of your craft items are not going to be hardwood. Okay, so once we're done, we will go ahead and let this dry. That way our paint will have a surface to adhere to, and then we will come back with the white paint and add our buffalo plaid. All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is I want to identify where the middle of my board is. Okay, now this doesn't have to be like the perfect stick, all right, because I'm not gonna fib, my wood is still a little wet. But what I wanna do is I'm gonna add another strip right next to it, and this is gonna help me with my spacing. Okay, so save this guy, you will need him again. Move all your paint over to the side. Now, I am not going to water down my white. I am just going to put it off to the side, and I'm going to use a more of a dry brush method. So what that means is I want to take the tip of my brush and drag a little bit of that paint out. And I want paint on my brush, but not a lot. You guys can't see, but my brush tip is not saturated. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that my tape is down in place. And it is. And then I will paint. I'm gonna paint the same way that my tape is going. But you see what I mean by a dry brush? Like I'm not coming in and fully saturating that area. You also want to use a light hand. You'll see the end result. I like the distressed kind of buffalo plaid. So what that means also, and why you should like it, is it means that this does not have to be perfect, okay? This is just meant to give me, more or less, we'll say a starting point, and I promise that when we're done, all of this will make sense. I also try to come in here and add some thicker areas, okay? And I will continue to do this on the entire wood round. Okay, so once this layer is done, we're gonna pull these off, but you notice I'm not throwing these away, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to take this and, starting with my largest piece, I will start lining them up this way. Now I feel like this part is more important. You need to make sure that you are doing these very straight, very perpendicular to the lines that you already have. Otherwise you will have a crooked buffalo plaid. All right, so smooth these down again. And you'll notice the paint is pretty much already dry. All right, now I have a little bit on there from the stain, maybe a little bit of white here, but doing this, it dries really, really fast. And I like that in a project. I like a project that's gonna dry fast. You're still coming in with your light hand and your dry brush. Now, I don't know if you can notice very well or not, but these areas where the white is overlapping have become darker just from having the 2 layers of paint. So now I can peel these off, and that is going to be my buffalo plaid background. Now, if I want to, I can come in and darken these up a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy with it, okay? Because then it starts to look weird. Okay, so see where that makes a little bit of difference? But overall, you know, just depending on the design that you're using or the paint that you're using, that's not even strictly necessary. Because like I said, you really don't want to get it too dark, because that's going to take away from the distressing. And I feel like buffalo plaid and distressing go perfectly together. That's also why I really like these foam brushes, because it's really easy for me to come in here and add some straight lines to give those boxes more definition. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to let this dry completely. This needs to dry 110%. I will come back and add the vinyl design. Okay, so what we have here, this is my, well, this is the reverse of my design. This is the first layer of my design. And I just wanted to show that when I'm lining it up, first of all, I'm using a medium tack transfer tape. And the reason that I do that is because it will release this better than a high tack, okay? And I also have lined up my words down here with my line, okay? Because it's important to remember that this is round, so there's no true up and down, okay? So the whole key is to line it up according to your buffalo plaid lines, and then you shouldn't have any problems with it looking off center. Now, I did use a medium tack, and I want you to watch what I'm doing here. I'm rolling this up on itself, okay? Because, like I said, this is a soft wood, and even though we've painted it, it can still be difficult to get your vinyl off, or rather to get your vinyl to stick. And rolling it back as close as you can to the surface surprisingly makes a big difference. Now, once this adhesive on the back of the vinyl cures, usually happens around 72 hours, then you really shouldn't have any problems. But if you have a lot of problems getting your vinyl to adhere, then you're gonna want to, or at least one good method is to hit it with a blow dryer or a heat gun with a medium temperature, or your blow dryer will be a high temperature. But a heat gun, you don't wanna melt the vinyl, but you wanna hit it with a medium temperature, and you can actually roll over it with a tennis ball. So that's something neat that you can do. Now what I'm going to do here, these are the other pieces that I have, so I'm just going to go one by one and apply those. Okay, so sorry about that, my camera cut out, but I went ahead and weeded all the pieces to my vinyl, okay? So what that means is I can go through piece by piece and apply it on top of this black stencil. And then using this light stick transfer tape, this light tack, medium tack transfer tape, should allow this to stick fairly well. Okay, now you may be asking me, Becky, why did you leave so much room up here? Well, you gotta remember that you're gonna have a bow. Well, at least mine's going to have a bow. So I sized mine. I actually did it 11.5 inches tall so it would fit on my vinyl. And it came out to be, I think like just under 13 inches wide. Okay, but I positioned it low enough so that I could still put a bow up here and be able to hang it on my front door. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like after we add the bow. So, did this turn out fantastic or what? Like, I won't say that I never toot my own horn, but this time I am just really excited to show this bad boy off. And, you know, I feel like that's why the wood rounds make a really great project base, because they are so versatile. So I could put this in my home, I can hang it on my door, I could give it as a gift, but I don't know that there's anybody that far up on the nice list, okay? But overall, it's a very easy project. A little bit of paint, a little bit of painter's tape, some brushes, and you're pretty much good to go. And I like using the acrylic paint because then I don't have a whole lot of problems getting my vinyl to stick, so. Alright guys, if you have any questions about what we've done in the video, or just any questions in general, then make sure you leave those below. And don't forget, we need you to subscribe to the channel. That way we can keep bringing you awesome tutorials and project inspiration. So, alright guys, thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.